This is the story of Dr. Sadiq Fitrat, known to millions as Nashenas. Sadiq was born on January 28, 1935, into a spiritual family of the Habibi lineage in Kandahar, Afghanistan. His ancestors trace back to Babar Khan Kakar, whose family migrated from the Job region in Kandahar in the 18th century. His father, Muhammad Rafiq, was an educated and forward-thinking man, fluent in Arabic, English, and Urdu, who served in various educational and economic institutions of the country. Sadiq began his early education at Shalimar School in Kandahar. In 1940, his father was appointed to the National Bank in Karachi, and the family moved there.
Nanda watan palore zama thore nare uraje ta khojilan ke dadam zekhi tanawona masti nazanene yo.
He spent about 5 years in Karachi, where he became familiar with the Urdu language. In 1946, he moved with his father to Delhi and as a young boy encountered a different culture. Separation from his mother was difficult, and he found emotional refuge in Indian music. This experience gradually introduced his young mind to the subtleties of Eastern musical traditions. He later spent some time in the city of Pune, where he attended a convent school and further developed his knowledge of Urdu and Hindi. His first musical experience took shape during a 1-year period of study in Chaman, Balochistan. There, he sang with his classmates, and his talent quickly became evident. He composed and performed his first song, though it was never recorded. In 1948, he returned to Kabul, and in 1949, he enrolled in the 8th grade at Habibia High School. Despite the family's increasing financial difficulties, he turned more toward the intellectual and inner dimensions of life. He gradually immersed himself in Persian and Pashto literature and developed a strong interest in poetry, music, and dramatic arts. During this period, he consciously set aside his family surname and chose the name Sadiq Fitrat. In 1959, he graduated from the Faculty of Law and Political Science at Kabul University. In 1966, he obtained his master's degree in Russian language and literature, and in 1970, he earned his PhD from Moscow University with a dissertation of mysticism and Sufism in the poetry of Rahman Baba. Alongside his artistic career, he also served in various specialized and academic positions within the government institutions.
هیچ خندامی لده خلق سر نشه جربه حقت لده ولی خلق الله لالو 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 الله لالو 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 خوب دی درسی ترلیمو لالو لالو.
His father was a principled and disciplined man, and their relationship was largely shaped by strict expectations. In contrast, his mother supported him with warmth and understanding, recognizing the potential within her son. His professional path began with writing an article in Urdu, which was broadcast on Radio Kabul in his own voice. He was then accepted as an announcer for the Urdu program, while also working as a translator between Urdu, Persian, and Pashto. At Radio Kabul, he became acquainted with prominent musicians and occasionally performed songs by the renowned Indian singer K.L. Saigal. In 1953, after successfully passing an audition, he was accepted as a singer at the radio. However, due to family restrictions, he performed under pseudonyms. One of his many compositions based on the poetry of Bedel and Rumi subtly reflected Darwinian ideas of revolution and transformation.
पैगंबर नामे दानम किशोर खतरा दरिया गश पैगंबर नामे दानम किशोर खतरा दरिया از جمادی مردم و نامی شدم و از نما مردم با حیوان سر زدم مردم از حیوانی و آدم شدم پس چه ترسم که مردن کم شدم حمله دیگر بیمیرم از بشر تا برارم از بلای بال و پر بار دیگر از ملک بران شوم آنچه من در مهم نایدان شوم قطره دریا گشت پیغمبر نامه دانم کشان قطره دریا گشت پیغمبر نامه دانم کشان.
In the traditional and conservative society of the time, this drew criticism from both listeners and colleagues. Nevertheless, with awareness and patience, he continued his artistic work. In 1954, when one of his compositions was approved for recording, he chose the name Nashenas, meaning unknown. For 4 years, without his father's knowledge, he became one of the most popular singers in Afghanistan, performing in Persian, Pashto, and Urdu Hindi. His father, who admired the voice of Nashenas, did not realize that it belonged to his own son. Soon, his fame spread across Afghanistan and beyond its borders. Dr. Sadiq Fitrat married in 1973 and has 2 sons and 1 daughter. In 1990, due to war and insecurity, he left Afghanistan. After a period of residence in Islamabad, he settled in London in 1991, where he has lived ever since. Nashenas's artistic work spans semi-classical, ghazal, qawwali, pop, and folk styles. Of approximately 300 Persian songs, 100 Pashto songs, and 60 Urdu songs associated with him, a significant portion are his own compositions. Even in adapted works, his creative contributions have enhanced their musical richness. Along the major publications about his life and work are Half a Century with the Melodies of Nashenas, written by the artist himself, as well as Fame and Anonymity, The Innocent Suspect by Sabur Siasang, Melodies of Nashenas compiled by Manizha Naderi, in Margins of Fame and Anonymity by Dr. Inayatullah Shahrani, and The Ambiguity of Pata Khazana, Dr. Fitrat and the Cultural Awakening of the Pashtuns. compiled by Manizha Naderi. These works have been published in recent years. He has also traveled widely for artistic, cultural, and official purposes.
कभी दर बदर कभी अर्श पर कभी फर्श पर कभी तेरा सर कभी दर बदर कभी अर्श पर कभी फर्श पर कभी अर्श पर कभी फर्श पर हमें आशिकी तेरा शुक्रिया हमें आशिकी तेरा शुक्रिया मैं कहाँ से गुजर गया हमें आशिकी तेरा शुक्रिया मैं कहाँ से गुजर गया कभी इस मकान से गुजर गया कभी उस मकान से गुजर गया तेरे आस्तां की तलाश में मैं रास्तां से गुजर गया कभी इस मकान से गुजर गया.
Nashenas is a conscious and committed artist. He has been highly meticulous in selecting poetry, and his works reflect the social and intellectual conditions of his time. Drawing on poets such as Rumi, Bedil, Iqbal, Khushal Khan Khattak, Hamid Mashukhail, Bari Jahani, and others, he has created a distinctive musical language of his own. One of the defining features of his art is the blending of languages, at times combining 2 or even 3 languages within a single composition, unified through shared meaning and harmony. The diversity of ragas in his Pashto ghazals is unparalleled and represents a significant contribution to Pashto musical culture. Despite the attention given to his art by political leaders across different periods, he never allowed his work to be used for political purposes and preserved his artistic independence. Today, Nashenas is not only a great artist, but also a symbol of cultural awakening in Afghanistan, something reflected in his critiques and responses. He has, through his songs, critically addressed the mistakes of rulers of different periods in a refined literary language. He believes, to understand today correctly and to determine the path of tomorrow, we must know the truth of yesterday. After more than 7 decades of artistic activity, over 90% of his works remain alive in the memory of his audience and guiding a new generation of Afghan musicians. For many years, he has also been engaged in informative and educational interviews related to the scientific study of music. In October 2023, he was awarded the title Lord of Afghan Music by the Union of Afghan Artists. Today, he lives in London with his family, continuing to record and reinterpret his works and guiding a new generation of Afghan musicians.
मन शाहीन खत जाने ने जहान ही मन शाहीन خست جانه نیست کجا روم با کی گویم که هم زبانه نیست کجا روم با کی گویم که هم زبانه نیست